Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, June 30th, and today is the Monday recap, where basically we'll just see where we stand heading into this short week. Yes, short week. The market closes early this Thursday. I believe it's like 1 p.m. And then, of course, Friday, 4th of July, the market is closed. So, yeah, we got a quick week. We got to make sure we all make our money, hit our goals this week. Again, short time frame. But at the same time, it's, time to enjoy with your friends and your family for once, take a little break. So before we get into the trades and where we stand, let's look at the pre-market. This is as of 5:15 a.m. Obviously, my goal is to record this video. Well, if I'm going to record it, not live, by 5 a.m., so I'm 15 minutes late. Great for me. But it's Monday, and who the hell likes Monday? Not me. Anyway, Tesla is down 0.87%. It's at 320. I was hoping Tesla would be rather green today after last week's sell-off. But hey, we'll see. It's still early. Tesla's down 0.84%. NVDY is up 0.74%. Good for you. NVIDIA is up 0.6%. Coin is up 1.49%. Damn. CONY's up 1.42%. M to the S to the T to the R. Wow, they're up 1.73%. Hello. MSTY is up 1.45%. Holla. TSLL is down. Of course, the two that I own are freaking down. Everything else is green. TSLL is down 1.79%. Ew. I wanted to sell covered calls in TSLL and TNA. Oh, I didn't get to TNA. Sorry. But whatever. TSLL is down 1.87%. There you go. There's TNA. Never mind. I cried for nothing. It's up 1.44%. All right. Sorry. I'm just sweating my ass off already in this garage. Bitcoin is up 0.23%, and BitX is up 1.52%. Suxul is up 2.47%. SMCI is up 2.69%. SMCY is up 2.18%. Palantir is up 5.02%. That's probably not good for their covered calls. PLTY is up 4.77%. Nice capture. UPRO is up 1.19%. And then TQQQ is up 1.92%. All right, so that's the pre-market, which we already screwed up. But let's just get to the files and get moving. All right, let's get moving. Let's get down to business. All right, so what do we got? Synthetics, yeah. By the way, this week, this is the start of a new cycle. All right, so we're gonna begin, and this is a good time to start following the channel. We're gonna start this brand new cycle and start calculating how much the MSTY fund is making over the next 4 weeks. And we're going to calculate it a variety of ways. How much they made on the synthetic, how much they made on the weeklies, how much they made on just price appreciation, right? How much they're making, how much they yield based on the IV, things like that. So, follow along. Hopefully it'll be pretty easy to follow. But anyway, synthetic, yeah, they got 4 of them. They got a 370. This one expires July 18th. This one expires July 11th. They got a 380 that expires July 18th. And of course, they have a 385. This is the newest one. Where is it? August 15th, okay? So again, 4 synthetics. They're just chilling. Their only job is to mimic the movement of the underlying. Pretty damn simple. So if you look real quick too, I just want to show you I did update. So payment 10, extrinsic income, and net income columns have now been added. So anything that is touched over here will now reflect into the new, we're going to call it payment 10 cycle. All right. Sound good? Great. IV, look at the 30-day IV. Friday, it was showing 43.77%. As of the close, today obviously is Monday, the IV did jump 3%. That is a great sign. Great start to the week. So yippee! Yee-haw! All right, so that's good stuff right there. So quick recap. MSTY price sits at 21.41. Again, that's as of the close. We saw the pre-market though. MSTR is at 383.88. 30-day IV, we like E at 46. It's moving on up. Outstanding shares, 232 mil. Total net income, again, we're starting from scratch. We're starting at zero. This is a great time to follow. I'll try to do my best to speak and explain very slowly for the new subscribers. And welcome, new subscribers. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, by the way, let me know in the comments, because I kind of forget that I do get new subscribers. But if you're new to MSTY, new to the channel, new to learning, please let me know via the comments, and I will make sure I tone it down, slow it down kind of on videos that I do have the time to do so. All right, total distribution, obviously zero. Everything else is going to be zero because, again, we're starting from scratch. We have 4 weeks now, 4 weeks to make money. Unfortunately, this first week, it's cut off. We're losing 1.5 days, but hey, we'll see. We'll see how things go. This tab here, this is where we track the competition, right? We look at the price of MSTR versus the price of MSTY versus the price of winter, just for fun, and then the price of IMST and MS2. We took MST out because it's more of a leverage play and a covered call ETF. You know, it's like both, so it's not fair to really compare against these other suckers. Reaction, yeah, it's time to start. You know, fresh 2 weeks. Fresh 4 weeks. Let's see how things go. I think we got this. All right, Group D declares in 2 days. Even though they declare in 2 days, again, they kind of calculated, or they will be calculating today probably, what they're going to pay based on the close on Friday. All right, but I'll keep this countdown until obviously Wednesday. Then we'll restart the new countdown. All right, so payment information to show you this sheet. So yeah, this is closeout numbers, right? This synthetic income, extrinsic income, short call income, net income. So when I say short call income, that's the weeklies, just so you guys know. But yeah, anything in row 10, payment cycle 9, that's closed out. It is what it is. You know, they made what they made, and you know, it's done. The win loss, I have to update that still, but that's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And I don't even, it's not worth it. I'm probably going to remove it when I do the updated sheet for the new fiscal year, but hey man, we'll see. So yeah, like I said, we're starting at zero on everything. So we'll start adding synthetic, extrinsic, and weekly income as we go and follow along. It'll be a fun ride. But for this week, again, we're going to show you how much they actually made versus how much they paid versus, you know, how much debit credit carry forward they had. To be honest, you know, the total net income, it's negative, right? So anything they pay is going to be debit carry forward. So there is no excess payment or, you know, credit overall payment. You know, they overall lost money, and that's simply due to the synthetic, all right? And that's, you know, again, we don't really count that per se unless they make a lot of money. Then we count it, you know, in favor for us. Hopefully that makes sense. Down here, I made some additions. I think you guys will like this. So we have the Rodometer, right? It's been useless lately, and I want to make it useful again. So I'm going to track the Rodometer through the weekly income, through the total net income, through the IV, and now newest edition, gains, son. It's all about the gains, bro. So what does that mean? Well, that's simple. It's the gains in the ETF price. So whatever the price is as of today, subtract that out as of the start, or no, you know what? We'll say as of the close on the Friday. So that past Friday that just passed, that's the date we're going to subtract from, because that's the change, right? So we'll always track current date minus the past Friday. And obviously once they declare the distribution, we'll have to boost it up. You know, we'll have to add that distribution back because it's going to drop on ex-dividend date, if that makes sense. We'll cover that when the time comes, all right? But this is another new addition to the already complex spreadsheet, but I think you guys will like that. All right, so where do we stand heading into the week? We got covered calls, all right? Covered call ETF, duh. Well, we're in the money on the lowest strike price. It's 380. It's 1% in the money, so ouch. All right, and we got a 390. That's 1% out of the 1.5% out of the money. And then we got a whole bunch of others. They are freaking scattered. So what does that mean? That means the strikes are scattered, which is good. And they do go as high as 12% out of the money. However, that's a small position. So, you know, I don't know, man. Things are looking green. So these could get blown through, but we'll see how it goes. What do we want to happen? I mean, as people keep asking that, as I do post this on X, to give a status update, but everyone wants a complete explanation on every single post. But guys, it's really not that hard. What do you want to happen? I mean, best case scenario, we go up to the lowest strike, right? We go up to 380, 379.99, and then we close these out for pennies while getting the full upside pretty much, and then some. So hopefully that makes sense. But we'll see. Again, if they blow through the strikes, we still have, the synthetics are going to make money. I think we all know that, right? The synthetic will mimic the movement of the underlying. And here's the synthetics. Are they gold diggers? If you guys don't know what the gold diggers are, we'll cover that later on. But no, they're not gold diggers because MSTR price is at 383, and we got a 370, we got a 380, and we got a 385. So there's no singing, "You take my money." But don't worry, they will be singing in the future. All right, so the value of this fund is 4.9 bill. It's going to hit 5 bill this week. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. In fact, it'll hit 5 bill today. Mark it down right now. 5 bill, 5 bill, 5 bill, 5 bill fund, son. All right, mark it down. It's in the books. It's over. All right, anyway, the NAV is 21.37, trade price 21.41. Synthetic, yeah. I mean, again, if you look at the reds, they expire July 18th, so they're going to close them out sooner probably. They got about, 65 cents on the paper, so that's cool. And then down here, total contracts about 128,000. So they're selling calls on 96% of them, so they're leaving 4% uncapped. But again, a lot of them may be capped, unfortunately, but we shall see. IMST, again, what do we do with IMST? Well, we talk about it because they're a competitor, right? We love MSTR. We love MSTR covered call ETF. So we're going to talk about competition and why the hell not? Again, so the closing date, not Friday, but the Thursday is July 3rd. So if you look, they only have the one, where is it? Right there. That expires July 3rd. We'll focus on that. That's a 395. That's 2.9% out of the money. Again, looking at the pre-market, I think they may be up that already, right? So who knows if these are going to be safe. However, they're only selling calls on about 51%, it looks like. So no cappity doodah on the other half, which is pretty good. Nothing else to really share here. Obviously, the fund is rather small, just starting off $101 million assets under management, all right? Let's move on to MS2. This is the Rec Shares version. This fund is only 7 mil, so obviously they're way behind. But they launched, pretty recently, so obviously they need some time to grow. A lot of people are big fans of Rec Shares products. But they have, a little different strategy. Same thing overall, synthetics, sell covered calls, yeah. But they basically said they're only selling calls on 50%, so they keep it pretty simple. So their covered calls, which ones expire this week? None of them, because they're not updated. They didn't update their holdings, and they got to get with it, to be honest. If you want me to talk about your fund, you got to update the website, all right? And that's the end of it, man. That's the end of the journey here. That's the recap. No video questions to cover. If there was, obviously I would have had it on here, I think. And let's move on. All right. Let's go to the other funds. This is the other suckers. Real quick, we're just gonna see what are they doing? How we looking? So first we'll start with your boy TSLY, the one that started it all, TSLY. How they doing? Well, they got a lot of calls. They're scattered. The lowest strike is 337.50. The highest strike is 350. They are 4 to 8% out of the money. Is that safe? Well, right now Tesla's down, right? It looks down in the pre-market, so maybe it is. But again, man, who the hell knows? Tesla had a pretty big update, last week, and then it tanked the rest of the week. So I don't know. I saw it had that first autonomous delivery, and then did Elon tweet against Trump again? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I have a feeling it's going to be green, though, this week for sure. So, I know. We'll see if we can win those trades. Again, a quick recap on NVDY. They got 3 strikes. They got a 155, a 157.50, and a 160. Unfortunately, 2 of them are in the money. I think you saw in the pre-market, NVIDIA was up. And the other one is out of the money by 1.43%. But they do have it's a credit call spread, insurance plays. So what'll happen today is if NVIDIA goes up, say 5%, they'll close these out and they'll roll the strike prices up. They'll cash out what they can on the buy calls in green, right? They'll make money on those because obviously that's a quick turnaround. However, they will be capped due to what they have in blue, to up to a certain extent. But that's why the green is there. The green is to uncapity-doodah them. So it's there to save them, but they're going to be limited on the upside. We'll just say that, all right? But we'll see. Again, if Nvidia goes up like 5%, I expect them to close and roll these up. CONY, how you doing? How you doing, CONY? We're all about the Coneheads. We all love the Coneheads movie. We all should watch it together. But in case you don't know what it is, all right, that's all you got to know. All right, so how's CONY doing? Well, they got freaking 5 strikes. Okay, 385 is the lowest, 8.93% out of the money. That's the lowest? Oh, hell yeah. All right, what's the highest? 405, 14% out of the money. So you know what? Don't sing it, bring it. CONY is set up for nice gains this week, so let's go. Let's go. All right, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all on CONY. Let's look at SMCI, the SMCI suckers, or SMCY suckers, my bad. How you doing? Well, they got 3 strikes, 50, 51, 52, 5, 7, and 9% out of the money. Little wiggle room, again, but SMCI moves like crazy. As the IV shows, of course, this is a crazy fund. It's a fun one, that is for sure. We'll see how it goes. I did get the feedback, though. A lot of you said, please do not drop SMCY. So I will not drop SMCY because I love you. I love you guys. All right, PLTY, how you doing? Well, yeah, they're doing good too, man. Look at this setup. The two lowest, they have 3 strikes, 142, 143, and then all the way up to 150. I love that. 8, 9, and 14% out of the money. Again, it's not on purpose. It's how it was set up. They broke apart, the last week. And then they got credit call spreads in between. Buy call sandwich. So, again, it's a beautiful setup. If Palantir goes up 20% this week, hey, we'll be like, okay. They'll capture a lot of that, believe me. I'm not saying Palantir is going to go up that much, but I'm just saying, like, it will be okay. We'll be okay, all right? If Palantir goes up 5% today, we're probably going to capture certainly most of that. I would say 90%. I don't know. Let's see. I hope we go up 5% so we can do the math. All right, so that's the last one of the funds that I covered. Again, this is just a Monday recap. So for those of you new to the channel or newer to the channel, on Mondays, we keep it simple. We just go through where we stand on the covered calls. Nothing complicated, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy. We try to keep it short and sweet. So hopefully, again, the idea is on a covered call ETF, especially these, again, there's 2 positions. There's a synthetic, which don't even worry about it, right? Don't worry about the synthetic. All it is the underlying. Instead of buying the underlying, they just create a synthetic position which mimics the movement of the underlying. And the reason they do that is they can use that cash to do other things like buy treasuries, buy bonds, and earn interest another way in a high interest environment. And that's why they have the synthetic position. And then what do? Again, since they have a synthetic position, they're able to sell calls, right? Sell calls on those calls. They're selling covered calls. Obviously, what does that do? That earns premium. And then what do they want to do? They want to pay us the premium. But at the same time, what do? We track those covered calls. We want to see, okay, you're selling covered calls, but are you winning your trades, right? Are you winning your trades? So we track, how much they make when they open the trades, how much they make when they close the trades. We do that on MSTY day in and day out. For these other ones, we just track the overall, position to get an idea. And of course, we do track the daily trades, but in less detail. So, again, if you're new to the channel, hang in there. We will explain, after today, the market will close. YieldMax will, they'll have intraday trades. They'll have a download that I will download, and then we will go through together tomorrow morning. And we'll go from there, and it'll be a fun time. But before I leave you guys, of course, I want to talk about my own options trading because I love options trading. It's a fun old time, man. All right, so the reason I said I want Tesla to go up, look at this, man. I own 700 shares of TSLY, which is a double leveraged ETF of Tesla, which means it moves 2 times what Tesla does. So I have 700 and I have 0 covered calls, which means I am not capped at all right now. So I was hoping Tesla would go up today so that I can sell covered calls at a higher strike price to get a decent premium. And I also have 3 puts. So I already have 3 puts open, a 10, 11, and a 12. But we'll see how that goes. Again, if Tesla does go down today, though, I will add to my put party. So be it. I'll do what I got to do. All right. And then I'll sell some puts, and then I'll have more puts, and I'll have more puts. And then eventually Tesla will turn it around and go green. And then we will be ready, man. We will be ready. We'll say, are you ready? All right. So we look forward to that. Again, it's a new end of this week is a new month technically. So I'm going to have a new goal for this week. Unfortunately, it's a short week. I don't know what the goal is. I have to see what Misty pays me first, and then we will go from there. So when Misty declares on Wednesday, I will know how much I need to make out of each week in options premium. So I'll update you then. Here's the TNA update. Again, 300 shares. In case you missed the Saturday video, 300 shares got called away. So I now only own 300 shares. I have 100 of those with covered calls, 200 uncovered. So again, for open positions, 1 call and 1 put. So if TNA goes up, which it looks like it is, I'll sell another covered call, and then we will go from there. All right? Makes sense, guys? Hopefully it does. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you missed Saturday, I closed out June, the last week, making $506. So again, the goal was to make $351 per week for the month of June. I exceeded that by a lot. So I made $466 the first week, $475 the next week, $431 the third week, and then $506 the fourth week. So again, the goal for this week or the next 4 weeks are going to be a little higher because Misty's going to pay less than their last distribution. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So when they pay less, obviously I'm going to make less, which means I have to make it up on the option side. And why do I have a goal? Again, my goal is to yield 50% of my capital, assuming my capital, of course, stays flat. So right now, my goal for the month of June is, we're still in June, 2,138. Today's the last day, though. So I should hit that with ease. And then for the month of July, I'll have a goal of 2,173, which should, again, be pretty easy to hit. These are easy numbers. It's not hard. 50% yield in trading your own options and owning Misty. Again, it's pretty damn easy, to be honest. The challenge is keeping your capital stable, of course. All right. And I can do that with my own options. You hope Misty holds up its side, which so far it has. However, my cost basis does kind of suck on Misty. But anyway, that's my options update. That's the YieldMax update. That's the overall update on the Monday recap. If I go back to the pre-market here, I hit refresh. We can kind of see if there's any change. Tesla's down a little less. It's down 0.73%. But if you want to look at the market, you can go to UPRO, because UPRO is a triple leverage S&P fund. Where is it? There it is, UPRO. So it's showing the S&P is up, but take that number pretty much divided by 3, and that's what the S&P 500 should be up, plus or minus a few points. All right, so that's the Monday recap, guys. I hope it helped you guys out understanding a little more about these funds. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have a question that you want me to answer in the video, you have to write video question and then type your question in, okay? Of course, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So I hope you had fun. I hope you are entertained. If not, we will do our best tomorrow, all right? That's all we can do. We could try hard tomorrow, all right? If you enjoy this content, it helps if you do hit the like button. So please do. If you don't, then don't. It is what it is, right? Outside of that, I got nothing but the keyword. All right, it's keyword time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Keyword is, how about welcome new subscribers, all right? So for those of you that are new, I want you to put in the keyword new to the channel. That's your keyword. For those of you that are not new, I want you to welcome the new subscribers. So again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it to me and everyone else that you made it this far in the video, you have to type in the comments the keyword. The keyword for the new subscribers is, you can type new subscriber, and the keyword for the legends who've been here forever and a day is welcome new subscribers. I know, corny as hell, but you know what? I am just curious to see how many new people, and by new, I mean like within the past week or 2 or 3 or 4, you know, that, I guess a month, we'll say a month, you know, a month in maybe, would be considered new. So, all right, I'm done yapping. I'm sweating my ass off. I got to get my ass to the office, I think, today. I know on Monday it's crazy, but we'll get it over with, right? Get an office day in, get it over with, and go home. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I just want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and have a great day. Later.